participants and my dear friends. Myself HR Chaudhary, working as assistant professor, Department of CSE, Engineering College Ajmer. Today we will have a lecture on integration testing. As already we have done verification, validation, black box testing, white box testing, where we have talked about the individual units. We have tested the individual units. Now in integration testing, we will combine all those units and then we'll try to test. So first of all, we see what is integration testing. So we can see the integration testing as a type of testing where software modules are integrated logically and tested as a group. A typical software project consists of multiple software modules coded by different programmers. The purpose of this level of testing is to expose defect in the interaction between these software modules when they are integrated. The integration testing focus on checking data communication among these modules, so that we can say it is also known as the thread testing sometimes, or you can say string testing sometimes. Now if we talk about what is the need of integration testing if in the software testing, so it's very important, because if we talk the levels of different levels of software testing, which are started from unit testing, then integration testing, and system testing, then acceptance testing. So we see if you perform the integration testing, that there are various regions, that's why we have to implement this integration testing. So what are the regions if we talk about? First of all, a module in general is designed by an individual software developer whose understanding and the programming logic may differ from other programmers. Integration testing becomes necessary to verify the software modules work in unity. And the second, maybe there at the time of module development, there are wide chances to change in the requirements by the clients. These new requirements may not be unit tested, and hence system integration testing becomes necessary. If we talk interfaces of the software modules with the database could be erroneous, maybe there, so that's why it is requirement to be tested. If we talk about external hardware interfaces, if there could be error in those hardware, so definitely it is necessary to be tested with the integration. Inadequate exception handling could cause maybe a lot of issues, so that's why it is necessary to the integration testing. Now we talk in this lecture, we will concentrate basically on the following things. So level of software testing, what is integration testing, which is already we covered, and the different approaches to the integration testing, how do we integration the testing, examples of integration testing, and we'll see that different kind of challenges and the practices in the integration testing. So first of all, we see the levels of software testing. So now we see what are the levels. Before moving to the levels, we see that software testing as a process used to identify the correctness, completeness, the quality of the development computer software. It includes a set of activities conducted with the intent of finding errors in the software so that it could be correctness before the product is released to the end user. So this is the aim of software testing, so that the client or the developer or the client should get a correct or the good software. So that's why if you want to increase the quality of software and we want to deliver a correct or defect free software, so definitely we have to go through the software testing. Now we see the different levels of software testing. We started from testing to the individual components, that is done in the unit testing. So if we talk about unit testing, what is unit testing? Unit testing is a type of software testing where individual units or components of a software are tested. The purpose of this is to validate that each unit of the software code performs as expected. The unit testing is done during the development of an application by the developer. The unit testing is isolate a section of the code and verify that it should be tested its correctness. A unit testing may be an individual function, method, procedure, module, or object. So in we see in SDLC, that is software development life cycle, in SDLC V module, unit testing is first level of the testing done before integration testing. If unit testing is a white box testing technique that is usually performed by the developer, though in a practical world, due to time crunch or the other lot of things, developer to test the unit testing, or we assure the quality engineers to also to do the unit testing. Now if we talk, second one is the integration testing, which is already I discussed about the integration testing, and later on we'll discuss in the detail. Now system testing, third phases of the levels of software. Those testing of integrated systems, basically when we combined all the units in a single entity and then we installed on a system, that we will perform the system integration testing. So in system testing is a level of testing that validates the complete and the fully integrated software product. The purpose of a system is to evaluate to the end-to-end system specifications. Usually the software is only one element of a larger computer based system. Ultimately the software is interfaced with other software hardware systems, and we see a lot of other external hardware and components. System testing is actually a series of different tests whose sole purpose is to exercise the full computer based system. We have a different kinds of system testing, where system testing in black box, where system testing and lot of other things. So basically it can be done in the two categories, which is already we covered in black box testing and white box testing. Now the next level of software testing is to acceptance testing. Is the most important and the final system testing. Basically it is also known as user acceptance testing. Is a type of testing performed by the end user, or we can say the client, to verify or accept the software system before moving the software application to the production environment. User acceptance testing is done in the final phase of the testing after functional integration and system testing is done. The main purpose of user acceptance testing is to validate the end-to-end business flow. It does not focus on the cosmetic errors, spelling mistakes, or system testing. User acceptance testing is carried out in a separate testing environment with the production like data setup. It is a kind of black box testing where two or more end users will be involved. It is also known as UAT testing. Or who, if we talk about who can perform the user acceptance testing, so it is normally performed by the client and end user. So this is the cycle, or this is the level of different types of software testing. Now we see that unit testing is not enough, is it? No, it's not. Even after testing each module individually, defect still exists. That's why it is not enough. Why? Because different programming logic, change in the user requirement, database issues, interface issues, inadequate exception handling. That's why we are required the system integration testing, because the unit testing is not enough. Now what is the integration testing, which is already we cover. Once more we can see integration testing is a level of software testing where individual units are combined and the connectivity or data transfer between these units is tested. The main aim of this testing is to recognize the interface between the modules. So basically we can say that the integration testing is basically we combined all the modules which were developed during the software development. Individual modules or units are combined in a single entity and are to be tested, and that single entity is installed on a system, and then we perform the system testing. Now if we talk about different integration testing, or from this diagram we can understand why we perform the integration testing, because it ensures module work together properly. These are the things which is done by integration testing. It helps to uncover error that lie in the interfaces, which was done during the combination of the units. Ensure that newly added components are not affected. Definitely if you add different kind of components when we are adding different types of units, so newly added components are not affected to the old components. Basically from this diagram we can see the unit test is the code, basically code level testing, where we are just testing the individual units. If we talk about integration testing, we can see that all the units are combined in a single entity and are interacted with a system. So this is the integration testing. Next, end-to-end test, where we see that this code and systems, services, database are combined in a single entity. And in UI test, where we see this the whole combination, where client also included, services are accesses by code, database, services, all are combined in a single entity. So this is UI test, is a complete testing of any software product. Now we before moving to the different approaches to the integration testing, we will have a one more term, that is we can say differences between stubs and drivers. What do you mean by stubs and drivers? Because they performs a very good role in the software testing, so we should know aware about the stubs and drivers. The concept of stubs and drivers are mostly used in the case of component testing. Component testing may be done in isolation with the rest of the system depending upon the context of the development cycle. Stubs and drivers are used to replace the missing software and simulate the interface between the software component in a simple manner. Suppose we take an example to understand in a better way. That's what does it mean, stubs, and what is drivers, what are the roles in the testing. So we take an example. Suppose we have this function A, that calculates the total marks obtained by a student in a particular academic year. Suppose this function derives its value from another function that is called B, which calculates the marks obtained in a particular subject. Now you have finished your working on function A and wants to test it, but the problem you face here is that you can't seem to run the function A without input from function B. Definitely. So function B is still under development. In this case, you create a dummy function to act in a place of function B to test your function. This dummy function gets called the another function, such as dummy is called stub. So this is not the stub function. To understand what a driver is, suppose you have finished function B and is waiting for function A to be developed. In this case, you create a dummy function called the function B. This dummy function is called the driver. So in this example, we can say a login page is there and is waiting, another is the admin page is there. Now login page is ready but admin page is not ready, so we have created a dummy function that is called the stub, because we are waiting to input from this thing. So this will act as a admin page and definitely will produce output to the login page. And in the second driver, where admin page is ready and the driver login page is not ready, so we have created a dummy function that is called driver. So this is the difference between the stubs and the drivers, which are very important in the software testing. Thank you so much.